Well, let's get started. I wanted to show you a trip to the aquarium I took a while back. And to start with, we're just in the hub of the aquarium where we can branch out to all the other areas. I love the way the lights shone down through the water here. I just thought it made for a pretty neat little shot, I guess. There were a lot of different areas to the aquarium, so I'll have to apologize for not being able to call out specifically which one each area was, or exactly what was in each video that you're gonna see. Having said that, I know that this specific area was in the large tank, where they just had a whole bunch of different species of fish, ranging in size and shape and color. Just like right there's a shark, a manta ray. But this is actually where they have a little people mover. Oh yeah, there's the big manta ray. It's so cool to see. But this spot, they actually have a bit of a moving walkway, I guess, to where you can just stand there and it'll slowly but surely take you through the little underwater tube. My favorite fish to see here is the largest species of fish, which is the big whale shark. And it's just so majestic to watch swimming through the water. It just seems to glide effortlessly. And as you can obviously tell, there's almost too many fish to name just swimming here and about. I do see some that I recognize from growing up in Florida. Obviously the stingrays, a couple of tarpon there. Some of the other ones, certainly not as familiar with. And if I do know them, I don't want to look like a fool, I guess. Just making a wild stab. But as I said, it's just so much fun seeing things that you may not have ever seen before. I do love at this aquarium that they have this little tunnel, because it does make you feel much, much more immersed. No pun intended, I guess, but... And this aquarium is also great because they do a really good job of helping you be informed. And one of my biggest questions that I always had was, where do you get your species of fish from? Are they, bred in captivity? Are they found? And we were actually told that a fair number of the fish that they have are actually rescues that were taken from, bad circumstances, where they would otherwise perish. I think those situations were maybe more pertaining to the sea lions and otters. Another way that they said is actually through illegal shipments, being trying to be smuggled into or out of the country. Some of it's from conservation research, and they did say that some of it is from captive breeding. They, obviously couldn't say how much. I know in the case of the beluga whales, that's part of a cooperative program that they have. So it's really, really very neat to learn more about that. It's not just a park where you come and just see and then leave. These little guys were a lot of fun swimming around. Definitely had to slow the video down a bit because they were just so quick, so sleek, and just shot all around their tank. These cool cats were so much fun to watch, though they did smell terribly. But these guys were a bunch of the African penguins that they have, and they're very popular for people to come and watch. I do love watching them swim. I'm not gonna even pretend that I understand the science behind it or anything like that, but it's just so much fun to watch them swim past, flapping their wings, flying through the water. And I believe this was the sea lion or seal. I know for certain that there's a distinction, but I don't remember what it is. And this gives us a really good idea of just how many different fish there are, and this is just in one little section of the big tank. I believe that they had just given some food of some sort. Obviously you see something in the water, but it's just really cool to see them all bunched up. Got this little guy just dancing along there for us. I do always love how when you're recording you never know what's gonna slide into frame or dance into frame as our little buddy there did. Big manta ray coming through again. And they do a very good job of trying to make, the small tanks at least have different feels and represent different areas. I believe that's a moray eel kind of sticking up out of there, and then you can see another one sticking out of one of the pipes. But it's just really, for me, really cool how they put a lot of different ideas and really put thought into the tanks to make for a better experience. Now obviously a couple of these fish are highly recognizable. I mean, obviously they're just very beautiful. In my editing of these clips, I did try to turn the brightness down just so that it wasn't quite so oppressive in the light. But like in this case right here, by doing that, it just really made the colors pop. So I'm very glad that I did that completely by accident. And then just the pink and the reds in this one just comes out amazingly so. I do wish I knew which species of fish that was. Now this was one of my favorite places to be. I didn't realize that the jellyfish would be so completely mesmerizing, but they were incredible. And I'll just be quiet and let us just watch this. And this tank is an example of the ones that I just truly don't remember. But still very, very fun to watch, very fun to look at. Now this next one coming up is possibly the coolest fish that I saw all day. Just look at those colors, the shape, just everything about it was pretty amazing. Definitely looks a bit eelish, and if I'm not mistaken, this is in one of their freshwater zones. Certainly nothing that I've ever seen in America. I wish I could remember what country it was from, but still very, very cool. So this cool looking guy here with a pattern on him is called a discus. He's from the Amazon River basin. It's obviously freshwater, but just amazing, amazing patterns that he had. Now that's a guy that I know a bit about, American alligator. And I didn't recognize that large fish. Possibly a carp, maybe a catfish. Probably a catfish. And these guys are everybody's favorite, every kid's favorite at least. Oh, piranha. I think they call this one the black spot piranha, but I could be wrong. Now it's easy to miss, but the bigger one there is the African tigerfish. And those guys have some very wicked teeth. I didn't get a good shot of them in the video, but man, they were a sight, I'll tell you. You should look them up. Now, the next group is my wife's favorite. And I always have a hard time saying the beluga whale. And they look like the kind of creature you would want to be best friends with. And I love how they come up and rub their bodies up against the glass. I don't know if it feels good or what, but it's just cool. And they did it a lot. I didn't get it on video, but they did it a fair couple of times. And this was a new section to the aquarium that I had never seen before. I could have spent all day just in this one section. It's just about sharks. And they give a lot of information, a lot of really good information about sharks. And as much as, we know that sharks aren't, I don't want to say inherently dangerous, but I think no matter what, people are going to always view them as kind of just in a fearful way. Even as much time as I've spent, on the water, it still makes me very nervous when they're around. But in this area, they have several different types of sharks. They had the tiger shark, and the one in frame right now is the hammerhead shark. I think they call it a great hammerhead shark. And they also had a silver tip shark. I always think that's a cool shot. I mean, he does look pretty menacing coming at you like that. But just like everything else, they just glide right along. Can definitely see the silver tip on that one. Watching them like this, you almost wonder if there's actually anything to be afraid of. I think they're trying to feed them. There's a little something they drop down, but I don't remember. The school of fish there it's a very odd name, but it's a false pilchard? Pilchard? I'm not sure. But those were mesmerizing to watch. And see, that guy just looks happy. Even a bit derpy. And they're definitely trying to get that one to react. And as slow and steady as they swim, it's funny, just in a heartbeat, they can become just as agile as a cat, it seems like, and just twist and turn in ways you wouldn't have previously thought possible. But I did love watching the school of fish ebb and flow and move in reaction to the shark swimming around them. That was something unexpected for me, but so enjoyable. can definitely see the spots on the one there, as they call it, the tiger shark. So the last shot will be just a very peaceful shot of the school of fish, and I'll let you just enjoy that quietly. Just wanted to say thanks for hanging out with me at the aquarium.